Hello and welcome back to my channel. So this week I'm going to be showing you how I have made these Halloween inspired mugs. These are just the $1 Brilliant Basics mugs from Big W, and I just thought they were a perfect opportunity to apply some vinyl, and I loved this black one because I thought that's going to look so cool with some white vinyl on for Halloween. So yeah, I also made some white ones with black on too, and yeah, I'm just really happy with how they turned out. So there you go, I made 4 of them. I have tested them out, so what I will say is the thinner the outline of the vinyl, it's really hard to transfer onto the actual mug, but I did do it, especially with this ghost here. So the thin lines are quite fragile, but it survived a dishwasher cycle, and you're not supposed to put vinyl in the dishwasher, so it has stayed on there. But what you could do is probably just make these lines a little bit thicker. But I just really love that design, so I couldn't leave that off. But yeah, they've survived a dishwasher cycle, and the same with this one. And then this one is the only one that came off, so it did have some bones on here, and I did notice after the dishwasher that the bones came off. So obviously you don't wash permanent vinyl in a dishwasher anyway, so with a normal hand wash everything else has stayed on. I just thought, yeah, these were a really cost-effective Halloween decoration, so I hope you enjoy. Okay, heading into Cricut Design Space and clicking onto a new project. Here you'll see on the left hand side that you've got the images toggle, and if you click onto this you can basically search up any image that you want to put out with your vinyl. I am a Cricut Access member, so it does give me a lot more options, but if you didn't pay for this subscription there are still options that you can cut out, or you can choose another subscription service that you'll just need to import into the Cricut Design Space. But I picked out these Halloween designs. I'll show you in a second what I picked out, but I'm just showing you here what is actually available to a Cricut Access member. There's just so many options, so anything that you search up you can basically get an image of, and then it's really simple. So I just find this really cost effective, because rather than paying $1 to $2 for an image every time, I've paid a one-off amount for the year, which was about $125 here in Australia, and that just gives me access to all these images. So I've picked out a few images that I want to pop onto these Halloween cups, imported them into the Cricut Design Space, and as you can see they come through onto the project really big, so I've just sized them down and now I'm just separating them out. And I'm just going to choose my configuration and how I would like these projects to look. I do have one black cup and one white cup, so I was thinking to put a white outline of a ghost onto the black cup, which would look really cool, and maybe a spider's web, and then do the same but in black vinyl for the white cup. Did I just say that right then? The white vinyl going onto the black cup, black vinyl going onto the white cup. So here I've got this image of the ghost, and I thought this would look really cool in the white going onto the black cup, so I've just duplicated the image, and as it's going the same way as the other one, I want it to go the opposite way, so I'm just flipping the image horizontally, and then as you can see it turns around, and then I'll just mess around with the sizing. I'm thinking on a cup around about 5 to 6 centimeters in length and the same in width. Just being sure to not put vinyl too close to the top of a cup because it's not food safe, so you don't want lips touching vinyl. So just making sure there's enough room around the edge of the cup to add these images. And here I'm picking out the spider's web, which I thought would look really cool for the middle part of the cup. And now I'm just going to mess around with the spacing. So I reckon I had about 20 centimeters in length as kind of a guide for a wrap for a cup. And then I think I did 6 centimeters in like the actual length of it, the height. So yeah, I've just popped all those together, and yeah, I thought I would add some writing onto it just to add something else. So I've written boo there, and then I found this really cool font, which is also a Cricut Access font, and it's called Alley Cat Bop. It's really cool, like Halloween looking letters. And yeah, I just thought I really liked the way that it made the letters look. So I'm just messing around with how I would like these to look now. I did try them in a few different places, just there at the bottom, but then I thought, well, actually they would look pretty cool just sitting in the middle of the ghosts. So what I'm doing there is just placing the boo in the middle of the ghost, and then I can just click onto the whole image of the ghost and the boo and go to align and center that to make sure it's in the center. And then what I will also do is go to the arrange toggle and group ghost and the boo font, just so that that is one whole image. And the same with the other side. And then what I can do then is just group that one there. What I can do then is just make sure my sizing is all okay for the 3 images for the whole of the cup. Highlight over them all, and I'm going to attach them together. Well, first of all, sorry, I did vertically center them, and then I will attach them. This just means that they're going to cut out all on the same sheet, and actually it was really easy to put this one onto the cup as 3 images, but with the black one I did separate them because they were so much more intricate and a little bit more fiddly. So this whole image is all done. Now I'm going to start with the other images. So I've got this skull and crossbones, and I'm just sizing it the same as I did with the ghosts at the top. And yeah, I'm just going to play around with the design for the white cup with the black permanent vinyl. And here I did the same spooky text, just sizing that down using the same font. And I also added a warp to this text. So if you see at the top here, on the top bar, it says warp, and it just gives you a few options to be able to add something different to your text. So I picked that curvature one there. And then, yeah, just messing around with the sizing and what else I would like to put on the cup. I thought I would add a spider, so I was just seeing what was available there too. Honestly, it's so good to have all these images just at your fingertips. I'm really going to miss it when the subscription runs out, but I probably will renew it. Again, I'm just going to group the spooky text and the spider together and make sure the sizing's okay, just so it cuts out as one image. So here I am just messing with my sizing, just making sure it's all okay. And when I'm happy with everything, I will align them, and then I can attach them together. There we go. Now I've got my 2 images and I'm ready to make my Halloween cups. I did just save these images before I did anything, because that would be terrible if you went to make it and then somehow you lost your work. So always remember to save your work. Okay, clicking onto making these projects, you will see that it's going to ask me if I want a mat, which I click on, and then it gives me a preview of how they're going to cut out the mat. So I did just space them around a little bit just to make sure I've got enough room between the 2 vinyls to weed them okay. So you can just click on them and rearrange them a little bit on the mat, that's fine. Just making sure they're away from that edge there. I always work in centimetres, but you can work in inches. It's just a matter of changing it in the settings. Clicking continue, and then it's going to find my maker machine. I'm clicking on Smart Vinyl Permanent, and I'll load it into my machine. Okay, so now I'm ready to cut out my vinyl. So I've got my green mat, and for the white vinyl I'm using Cricut's Smart Vinyl. I just love this vinyl, it's really good quality. I never have a problem with it cutting out or the cutting settings. And yeah, I've just made sure that I've got enough vinyl there on my mat, judging by the size in the preview for the cutting. making sure that it's all braided down onto the mat and there's no bubbles. And then for the black, I am going to be using a different permanent vinyl. It's the Siser Easy Weed vinyl, and I do like this vinyl, but I just found that it's a lot softer, so it definitely is easier to weed, but you'll see when the Cricut machine cuts it out on the same setting that it does go through the actual backing of the paper too. So I might have to work through my settings on that one. So once it's all onto your green mat, make sure it's all braided down. You don't want that lifting up, and you can add it through to your Cricut machine, and then it will go through the cutting process. Okay, so now your vinyl is all cut out and you can start weeding. So I've taken them off the mat, and the best way to do that is to turn your mat over and take them off backwards. Just there on the black one, I did show the camera that the setting had cut through to the backing of the paper, but when I weeded it out, it was absolutely fine to put onto the cups. It was absolutely fine. So here I am just weeding out the white vinyl. As I said, the Cricut vinyl is so easy to weed, just using my weeding tool. And yeah, I really love this process. Sometimes it can be a little bit tedious with all the little parts, but it's actually like a nice, relaxing process. So you'll notice here I am weeding out a different black design. So the other one I did off camera, or I can't find it in my footage, but I did do two designs for the cups each. So I have two black cups and two white cups, and I'll show you those at the end. But here is the other black design that I did create. So it's just still using the skull and the ghost, but I've taken off the spooky and the spider's web and added the blue in there. But yeah, you'll see me popping the other design on the cup in a second. Okay, so here are the cups. These are just from a shop called Big W here in Australia. They were priced at $1 each, which is absolutely amazing, and they're just a brilliant basic range, so they're absolutely perfect for adding vinyl to them. Here you can see that I'm cleaning them with just some alcohol rubbing spray. This is just going to make sure there's no grease on the cup and that the vinyl can adhere to the cup properly. I'm using Cricut's transfer tape, which I find to be great, although it was really hard to transfer that black design onto the tape, so I did do that off camera as well, as it took me so long. So the white one transfers pretty easily. I'm just adding that transfer tape to the top of the design. I then cut it down just to make sure, well, just so it's a lot easier to transfer, so there's not excess material. And then I turn it over, and I'm just using my scraping tool to transfer the vinyl onto the transfer paper. So this may take a little bit of time. Sometimes the transfer paper is really sticky and it goes on really easily. I have seen a hack where you can add a bit of heat to the vinyl and then it does transfer onto the paper really easily, but I don't have a heat gun. So just with a bit of perseverance, you can see there that I've got it all onto the transfer tape now. I'm just trying to line up this design onto the black cup. It was really tricky to do this, so in future I'll probably do separate images rather than 3 on one piece of transfer tape. So I'm just making sure that I'm lining it up there with the spider's web in the center of the cup, and then moving the design around the cup and just flattening it down using my fingers before I take off the transfer tape, making sure that the vinyl is all pressed down onto the cup. There's no air bubbles. You can use a cloth here like I'm doing just to smooth out everything. And then you'll see that the transfer tape just peels off really easily and your vinyl will be on the cup. And I love this one. I love how it turned out. It's so cool. So that is the black cup with the white vinyl. I did do another design for the black cup as well, which you'll see at the end. I'm just going back over now, just making sure that all the vinyl is adhered to the cup. You probably want to leave these for 24 hours to cure properly, and like I said at the beginning of the video, please don't put them in the dishwasher. They're not meant to be put in the dishwasher, just hand wash only, although I did test mine in the dishwasher and they did survive apart from one part of the skull and crossbones. So it's just a little note there. Okay, so here I am placing the black vinyl onto the white cup. Putting this black vinyl onto the transfer tape was so tricky. I don't know what was wrong with it, whether it was the transfer tape or the actual vinyl, but it just took so long. So I did have to go through and pick off in individual parts and stick them onto the transfer tape. So, but here you can see the design looks so good. I've done one in the center and then I'm going to add another one either side. So just making sure that I've lined it up properly. Place your design, just pressing it down lightly in the center and then using your fingers to smooth it out. You can actually cut some little slits in the transfer tape as well, as that will make it a lot easier putting it onto a curved surface. And then here's the skull and crossbones. I'm just doing the same with this one. I always find it really satisfying to peel off the transfer tape. I absolutely love that part. I'm so happy with how these designs turned out. So I did do, like I said, 2 designs on white cups and 2 designs on black cups, just slightly different. So yeah, I'm really happy with how they all turned out, and yeah, I really hope that you like it and you find some inspiration in the video. Okay, so here are my finished cuts. I really hope that you found use in the video, and I hope you enjoyed it okay. I'm sorry about the camera work. I'm still getting used to my camera and how to film and the angles and the lighting. But yeah, hopefully we'll be back soon with some more Halloween decorations. Bye guys.